we have finally made it. We are at the final performance of Woodstock 99. Now, mind you, it's at the same time as Megadeth, but go watch that episode because I explain why I put it first. But yeah, we're here. We are at the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Now, my request to you is watch the whole set. The whole set is phenomenal. And you really do, watching it, you really do get the full picture of what's going on. You can see, at the beginning, first of all, Flea, the first thing the pay-per-view audience sees on YouTube of the Red Hot Chili Peppers is Flea, butt naked with his junk flopping up and down. He's jumping up and down. His junk is flying everywhere. He comes, okay, let's just talk about Flea for a second. This guy is nuts. There's 300,000, 200,000, 300,000 people waiting for the Chili Peppers, right? And he comes out first, butt naked. Man, you gotta have some pretty big balls to come out come out butt naked in front of all those people. My God, I can never. But different time, and Flea was also probably on some drugs or at least drunk or something. But watch the whole show because it's a phenomenal set. Every song from them kicks ass. Really good sound. Their set sometimes during the Woodstock 99 festival, the pay-per-view sound wasn't as good. Whereas this one's pretty good, other than there's a little bit of a guitar mishap in the first song, whereas the guitar is unplugged at John's guitar. But yeah, check it out. Here we are, man. Thanks for joining. For those who've watched every episode, much appreciated. Thank you for watching all these episodes. It's been fun. I've had a lot of fun covering Woodstock 99 because it's one of my favorite festivals to show people because it's so messed up. It's so screwed up. Between the people jumping around, playing in poop and pee, the porta potties overflowing, no water, the hot temperatures, the food, the high prices in food and water, the performances, the debauchery that happens, the riot and all that. It's pretty nuts. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So it makes me happy to be able to pass on the knowledge I have of this because it just sits in my brain and it's like, hey, you should tell people about Woodstock 99 because to show them how screwed up it is. Because a lot of people, they think Woodstock 99 a complete utter disaster, which it is. It is a complete utter disaster from a financial standpoint, from just a humanitarian standpoint. It sucks. People are treated really bad. Don't have basic things to live with. Yeah, it's a weird phenomenon that I really love. I don't know. I just really love the fact that it's so messed up, yet the music is so good, and I don't know. It's a weird thing that I've become obsessed with Woodstock 99, and the performances and the story behind it and everything. And so thank you for tuning in all these episodes. I hope it's made sense. I hope you see why people are going to riot. Now, all right, let's get to the juicy bits here. So, as I mentioned last episode, one of the main reasons why everything kind of goes to crap is because the organization has been, treating these kids poorly the whole weekend. They've been starved, thirsted, dehydrated, I don't know what it is. And they just, they're fed up, they're tired of it. So why everyone riots at the end is because they want to get back at the corporation, the organization, the brands and everything like that. Now, usually, it's kind of hard to understand why they riot, right? Because you look at the footage and you see all the footage I've posted and stuff like that. You look at it and it doesn't look like it's that messed up. And then and then you know, you go dive in deep. Flea kills me. He loves mangoes. But you gotta like look and dive deeper into some of the research, some of the news articles, the photos, and like the documentaries and Podcast 99. Big shout out to them. They helped a lot with like information and stuff like that. But you gotta dive deep to really understand why these people riot. Because from just the footage, sure, there's some points where it looks pretty rough, and there's, you know, a lot of sexual assault going on, a lot of drinking and drugs, a lot of moshing and parties and people getting hurt. And then, of course, during these sets, you start seeing the fires and stuff like that. But you don't really get a sense of why people riot until you dig into it, which is why I did this series, is because I dug into it with you guys, so you guys can hear and see and understand why exactly it became such a shit show. So, relatively to Sunday, and like you'd expect a riot on maybe Friday night or Saturday night, but it's the accumulation of the stuff that happened to these people. It's accumulation of everything that happened that leads to the riot. Now, Red Hot Chili Peppers starts at 8:40. 8:40 begins. At 8:40, the Red Hot Chili Peppers come out. Flea was completely naked, as I already mentioned, and I'll post some clips. You won't see. It's kind of hard. I'm going to try to censor as much as possible, but he moves around a lot on stage. But yeah. I don't know. It's really weird. There's a lot of stuff that happens halfway through the set. Keita says any menstruating women close to the stage like throw their tampons at the band. Like that's a really weird vibe. Flea's naked. They're all really messed up. But the main talking point is the fire. The fire that happens. So halfway through the set during Under the Bridge, the PAX candles. Now, if you watched last episode, I'll explain it again. PAX, which is a prevent youth gun violence and stuff like that. It's like an organization like that. Anyways, they had a booth where if you went, you could get a free candle. And they were giving these candles out to be lit during Under the Bridge for a vigil. Now, that happened because Under the Bridge, you watch it. I'll play it for you here, and I'll post some clips when it comes up. You'll see Under the Bridge. Yeah, it does. It looks 100%. It looks 100% a-okay because all the candles are lit. Everyone looks like they're having a good time. But right after Under the Bridge, you start seeing little orange flames. Like the sky starts to look really orange. A lot more flames. And Ketis goes so much. He notices that as well, and he refers to it as Apocalypse Now. He's like, holy shit! It looks like Apocalypse Now out there. And then they break into Jimi Hendrix's Fire, which I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, 200 yards behind the left side of the stage, a medium-sized pile of the former peace wall, was basically transformed into a medium-sized pile of fire. Within minutes, the second and third fire ignited close to proximity. For most of the audience, only a glow was visible at first. So yeah, if you watch the clips and you see when the camera pans out to the crowd, you see glow. You see orange glows coming up from far away. You don't really see it as much. But as the set goes on, you see it building, and the orange glow gets bigger and bigger. And then you see some lights, like fire truck lights. And, it starts getting crazy. So, Peppers played their encore at, I guess around 10, they finished at 10:15. So, probably 10:05 or something like that. They start playing their last song, and then they go into Jimi Hendrix's Fire. Now, they didn't play Fire because of the fires. They literally, before the song starts, they're I think Flea asks, should we do it? Should we do it? And then Anthony's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's fuck it. Let's do it. And you know, they don't care. They want to do this song, but they didn't necessarily like the one because they played this song before and they do a wicked version. So it's much faster than the original. The original is like a little more relaxed, whereas this one's like crazy. I'll play a bit there for you. This is Soul to Squeeze right now. I'm just skipping through a couple songs because they have a great set. I'm just going to skip through a couple because, you know, I'm not going to play the whole set, but I do have a little bit to talk about, especially Under the Bridge. I'd like to play that for you as well. This is Soul to Squeeze. Love this song. But, now, so at this point, there are 5 large, swelling bonfires in the immediate vicinity of the stage. Smaller fires were starting to sprout more and more and more and more. A bunch of places all over the crowd. Now, if you remember, I think it was either Tuesday or Wednesday's episode, I talked about a Mercedes that was driven into the crowd during Creed's set, and it was driven into the crowd and left there. Now, that Mercedes got flipped over. Remember, the cop was struggling to stop the people from flipping over? Well, they flipped it over eventually, and they set it on fire. So now that's on fire as well. Security personnel were ordered by supervisors to retreat to security headquarters at Building 100. They were told on the radio, seek shelter. It's not safe. Get off. Take your shirts off. Get away. Basically, their own security abandoned it because they knew this situation was getting out of control because the fires were starting to build. And as the fires build, things get a little more crazy. At this point, the band finished their song, and immediately afterward, a short multimedia Hendrix tribute played on the various Diamond Vision screens surrounding the stage. Now, a lot of people were excited because throughout the day there was a lot of rumors that like a big surprise act was going to be the final act after, because it's still early, like it's 10 o'clock, so people are expecting some sort of big band, like, you know, so people are speculating Pearl Jam, Prince, Bruce Springsteen. Word got around that it was a band like the Rolling Stones, the Who, and people grew angry when it became just a Hendrix tribute. A lot of people thought there was going to be something bigger, and people grew angry. I mean, I'd grow angry too. If it's 10 o'clock, you know, you spent all this money, and then you're just left with a Hendrix tribute. Now, I love Jimi Hendrix, but it's not like he was coming back from the dead. It's just a Hendrix tribute thing that was on a screen. It was like there was supposed to be a band and everything, but with the situation going as it was, they just said, screw it, we're not doing that. So soon, John Scher, you know him by now if you've been following along, he's one of the promoters and one of the main guys running it. He takes the stage, but not to announce the special guest band, but he says, something is on fire, as you can see, he said. It's not part of the show. It really is a problem, so the fire department's going to have to come in with a fire truck and put that out. Everyone needs to cooperate. Well, the fire truck didn't come. You can see sirens, like the police fire truck sirens, way back. The fire truck never came. No band ever showed up on stage. And the concert goers wanted more. They wanted more. They're itching for more. It's only 10 o'clock. They waited the whole weekend for this moment because they expected a huge band coming out. And they had a rave that was planned for that night too. But yeah, nothing came. The wall that confined the peace wall, well, it was gone, completely gone now, and everything was about to explode. Now, here's where things kind of get crazy. Now, it's kind of like the Chili Peppers finished their main set, and by this time, an audio tower with speakers. I'll show you the videos I'm not sure if I'll include them in this part. Maybe I'll put a couple videos. There's a video out there where you could see the tower of this speakers and all this stuff falling down, getting toppled over by people. So that falls, and it catches fire. What else happens? Well, let me tell you. Back on stage for the encore, singer. Sorry, they did fire. So many large fires were burning at this time. Participants danced around the circles. So now it's kind of looking like Lord of the Flies. Like people are dancing around fires, and like at the end of under the bridge, you see a massive clip of a roaring fire. And then I'm gonna skip to the last song, which is Fire. I skipped a little too much, sorry. Do you hear how fast that is? Sorry. But, okay. Yeah, so basically, MTV removed their entire crew. The ATMs were tipped over, broken into. Trailers full of merchandise and equipment were forced open and burglarized. People were taking stuff. Glow sticks were getting thrown everywhere. Vendors abandoned their booth, and they were turned over and set on fire. There was a bunch of tractor trailers full of either vendor stuff or equipment, freezer trailers. Well, they I don't know how it happened, but they were set on fire. And what happens when you set these big things on fire? Well, boom! Yeah, so there's big fire explosions of these tractor trailers exploding, creating big explosions, more fire. People are running around, throwing stuff around, tipping over speakers, throwing full speaker cabinets into the fire. What else is going on? Looting. People are just destroying everything. It's crazy. It goes from, okay, we're listening to, Under the Bridge to, big serious problem. This is a riot. Medical personnel near the east stage abandoned their posts. They took off their shirts. They said it's done. Security officially gave up, and they just left. They fled the site, and they were ordered to take refuge near the Woodstock management offices. So they took their shirts off, put their badges away, and said, okay, that's it. You guys got to go hide, because if they find you, you're screwed. State troopers rolled in on four-wheelers and ATVs and attempted to push people away from the large fires. But that doesn't work too well. On the PA system, the promoters started playing Rage Against the Machine, which had precisely the opposite effect on the crowd as intended. I don't know what the hell they thought about doing that for. Why would you play Rage Against the Machine on... I don't know. Why would you play Rage Against the Machine on that, on the PA during a riot? Whoever thought of that was freaking brain dead. But during this time, things are rapidly going out of control. Most of the audience headed for their tents. So like I said in the Megadeth episode, there was only a really concentrated amount of people. There was like 10 to 20,000 maybe who were really causing problems. A lot of people were just standing around watching it, and a lot of people were retreating back to their tent or leaving. Most of the those who remained, here it even says less, 5 to 10,000 people were determined to tear the entire site apart. All this while Megadeth is still playing Peace Sells. At 10:30 p.m., state police and the fire engine attempted to approach a bonfire but gave up when the crowd unleashed a missile attack consisting of bottles. So the riot was throwing bottles at these fire trucks and police vehicles. 10 kids rocked the 50-foot speaker tower. I'll show a clip right now of this. Next to the east stage, they tip it over, and the whole thing, literally, this thing falls. I'm surprised no one died. This is a massive tower, speaker tower, with massive speakers on it, and it just, you see it tip, 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 and gone, and crashes to the ground. How no one was hurt or killed during that, I have no idea. So yeah, at 10:45, the tower came lurching down with a cacophonous thud. And you know what happened next? Well, everyone climbed on top, and then they started banging on it. And during Woodstock 99, from the day they got there, Thursday, to the day they leave, and basically Monday, there is a group of like a drum circle. Now, Woodstock, I don't know, there's just like, at every festival, there's like these people who get together and create music together. Well, Woodstock, same thing happened. A lot of drum, like all weekend, there's just this drum circle going on. A lot of people call it drum stock. And people literally just spent the whole weekend playing drums. Well, this is still going on the whole weekend. All the music's done, the bands are done, the place is going nuts, and people are still banging all these drums like they're in some sort of trance for like 4 days. So that's still going on, and then these people are going on top of the speakers, smacking it. Speakers and lighting equipment were hurled into the fire. Like clouds of poisonous gases were engulfing the whole place. At around 11 p.m., the rebel army surged toward the center of the village. Police and security personnel were largely absent. So the sound of yelling and chanting was everywhere. Almost 200 formed a drumming circle, as I just mentioned. And there's just people banging on garbage cans, wood, sledgehammers, axes, cardboard with wood pallets. They're just adding to this chaos. Several storage trailers were set ablaze. There's one kid with a megaphone who was saying, will everyone please pick up one piece of garbage and throw it in the fire? A mob amassed on top of the beer garden tent, and it had collapsed. 100 people fell 20 feet, but none were hurt, magically. Don't know how that also happened. And the tent burned down. At some point, rioters took control of a PA system long enough to declare Woodstock is now under martial law. Anyone here who has a good time will be shot. Anybody with a Woodstock MasterCard will be spared. Like, what? That's crazy. Steel tent poles were used to break the locks during several break the locks of several food vendors' semi-trucks. Kids tossed provisions to the crowd, mostly pretzels and snack food. Because that's, people were sick and tired of paying a lot for food, which basically triggered a food fight. So now, on top of a riot with fires and and trailers exploding, you got a food fight. People are throwing pretzels and bread at each other. The looting continues on. It goes to the Ace Hardware trucks near the campgrounds. People got in, basically started destroying the Ace Hardware trucks. There was no physical violence for the people, but it was stealing and vandalizing. And the people there, all they could do was walk away. It was like watching your house go down, and there's nothing you can do. Basically what those guys were saying. So many vendors continued to do brisk sales and pizza in the rave hangar. About 15,000 kids were still dancing. So in the rave hangar, while all this crazy stuff's going on, the people in the rave tent are just just grooving along. The growing blaze of vendor tents, now fed with cardboard boxes, camping supplies, semis, and all this stuff. Basically, the trucks, the trailers, they explode because the freezer unit's on it, shredding the sides and the roof of the sheet metal trailers, igniting other vehicles nearby. And, miraculously, no one was seriously injured in these explosions. Like, this guy says, just imagine 12 tractor trailers on fire. From where I was standing in the parking lot, it was almost like watching a sunset. It was bright. Kids began throwing unoccupied tents and porta potties into the flames. Like, what? Woo! Someone stumbled upon a massive cache of glow sticks and looted it. Like I said before, they were throwing them everywhere. We ran into these people who were having a glow stick war. People were throwing glow sticks at each other from one field, one side of the area to the next. This one guy said, "Follow us. We're gonna go kill the cops with glow sticks." Okay, so by 11:45, 500 to 700 state troopers in riot gear finally arrive on site with pepper spray, and they successfully push the crowd away from the east stage. And they keep pushing like I'll show you videos throughout this, so it's not just me talking. You'll see the videos. The campsite area chaos continued like throughout the night. There was an estimated 32,000 to 40,000 kids in the center of the base. Some threw garbage at the police. The officers yelled at them, but we're not making any arrests. Some guy from MTV said it looks like effing Lord of the Flies. Kids were shouting "Let it burn" as the drumming continues. Phew, I'm getting out of breath here. It's a lot of stuff. So ATMs were looted. What else happens here? Yeah, as people were taking stuff from the ATMs. After about 45 minutes, kids finally successfully cracked the ATMs, only to discover what thousands of people already learned. The easy way on Saturday was there was no cash in them. So the kids broke these things, which is against the law. They didn't even get in trouble. But they broke into these ATMs, and there was nothing. So they just walked away. Began stealing boxes of CDs from the rave hangers. So now the rave people are kind of like, wait a minute, something's going on here. So there's a bunch of stuff going on with the rave and people. At 3 a.m., people continued to feed the campground fires. Police let the rioters tire themselves out before attempting to fight the blaze. As a result, the Rome Fire Department did not gain control of the fires until well after dawn broke. So at like some videos there, you see people leaving, and literally you can see the stuff still smoking. At 3 a.m., people continued to, at 4 a.m., the drumming circles finally broke up. The haze of fog is clearing. Most of the remaining revelers and rebellers stagger back to their tents or vehicles, mentally preparing themselves to rejoin modern-day America. And that's it. After all this, literally from 11 p.m. is the last time I mentioned a time, until 3 a.m., stuff is still going on. People are, just looting stuff, throwing stuff, burning stuff. It's the same old stuff, repeated. And it's only until 4 a.m. when the drum circle stops, so people can finally, not hear drumming, which, as a drummer myself, I could only imagine 4 days of straight drumming. Man, I'd be so happy not to hear that. Feet black with dirt, hair matted, smelling of smoke. Pruitt, this is the journalist for Spin, got on the bus at 6 a.m. for a 5-hour ride back to Connecticut. And there you go. That's it. In the immediate aftermath, 2 concert goers were confirmed dead, so that's throughout the whole weekend. One who died of hypothermia on Monday. There was 5 rapes and only a couple of sexual assaults reported. That's a lie. There's a hell of a lot more, but there's only 5 rapes confirmed that people actually, reported. Sorry. 2 state troopers who had posed with naked female attendees was suspended. Good. New York's state prison guard was charged with sodomizing a 15-year-old girl. Good. He deserves to rot in hell during the riots, so that's even worse. So 253 people had been treated at the area hospitals. The official numbers of fans treated on site is between 4,000 to 4,500, but one of the doctors said that, who worked the medical tents, said that the numbers were far higher. They were trying to downplay it. Oh, there's only 4,000. There's actually closer to 8,000 to 10,000 people who went to the medic tents. 44 concert goers had been arrested. Damage and insurance estimates were still being compiled. And that's it. That's all. That's all she wrote. That's all I'm going to say. Because you know what? At the end of the day, Woodstock 99, what a crazy, crazy day. Alright, so this has been a long one. I'm going to include a bunch of clips on here for you. I just had to explain everything that happens. Everything builds up to this peak, and only 10, there's 400,000 people. 400,000 people who go to Woodstock 99. And only a couple of them participate in the riots. So, I don't know. But, besides the fact, it's crazy. And I hope you've really enjoyed these episodes. Sorry this one's a little scattered. There's so much stuff that happens really, really quickly. Like, Red Hot Chili Peppers plays, and then it's like, boom, 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 until like 5 in the morning. And then it's like, finally, the riot's over. People are stopped being crazy. And it's probably because all the alcohol and drugs are starting to wear off at like 5 in the morning. And they're like, okay, well, I guess we should stop and go home now. But yeah, thank you for watching this series. I hope you've enjoyed this Woodstock 99 series. I hope you look at Woodstock in a different way now. You don't look at it like everything was bad. Look at it as the corporation was bad and the organization was bad and the toxic, toxic male masculinity. That was very, very bad. But at the end of the day, that's Woodstock 99. Thank you for tuning in to all my Music on Rex this last 3 weeks about Woodstock 99. I'm not sure what I'll do. I might take a week off to record some new videos for the week after. I might have a new episode out for you on Monday, but stay tuned. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and yeah, this is Woodstock 99. Tuning out. Thank you.